Hi. I know Cam, I should get back to work. Made this model, actually. Little airplane, World War II model of a hurricane. A hurricane is what my dad flew during the war. And when my father passed on, there was nothing. He passed on. I didn't know until sometime later. I had a feeling, had to call up the old person's home and so forth and get them to tell me, yeah, my dad had passed, and it was sort of an indication that I was so far removed from him that I didn't even know when he had gone, other than this sort of inner feeling when he passed that had happened, which is why I followed up on it and then was able to find out that he had died. And from that, there was really nothing left. He had gone. I didn't have anything from him or anything like that. Neither did my brother John. And so to try and remember him as I could, I built a little sort of model, if you like. This is the Hurricane, a type of plane that my dad flew during the war, and it was part of the Pacific Command, went all over the world, and was part of the pilot training program, which was in Calgary, or just south of here, near High River, and that's where I met my mom. And they got married, which was just right at the closing days of the war. It was actually on a blind date. He lost a coin toss, and then had to go with a blind date, which was my mother, and they fell in love. Were married very quickly afterwards, and then they went and lived in New Zealand and so on. I'm going to continue with this journal. I've been reading through it. It's not bad, I guess, but I'll just continue on as something to be able to pass on, I guess. This part was written a few months ago when I just came off a wellhead in Lloydminster and so on. Continuing on, the last little while has been a series of almost unbearable tests. I'm healthy and well, as is my family. However, a massive pullout by the feds on research funding has pretty well destroyed Roxy and I financially. It was a major betrayal, and such things are very hard to take. However, I'm still alive and we're not in pain. Destitute, yes, but not in pain. Actually, the psychological pain is significant. I have lost hope and am now supported by destiny alone. In this state of loss and more shock than anything else, I began to think of the reality of things. In particular, the physical universe. Pretty well not much else to think about. If matter is made up of a knot of space-time, and space-time itself is just empty space, then matter is really just made up of empty space. Mind you, the space is highly curved in order for the matter to appear or exist. However, it's just empty space. The curve is a curve in the measure of space. That's to say, what is curvature? It is a curvature within the coordinate system of the space that makes the measure true. But all in all, it is just empty space. If anything is untied, it dissipates and nothing is left. The existence of matter is just dissipated into space, and all that is left is empty space. That is what everything is made of. Therefore, empty space contains certain potentials. These are the potentials to manifest whatever it is that the universe manifests, or whatever exists. This would mean that empty space consists of the ability to create or manifest matter having electric charge and mass. Further, if there appears organization, as in chemical structure, or life in cellular structure, or intelligence, or virtue, then these things must be locked within the potential of empty space. The properties of only space and time and the property that space and time can be altered by mass and charge means that the potential to manifest mass and charge lies within empty space. Hello, I wanted to number all these things, I wanted to number them all, and I knew in my head when I did this that I was going to muck it up. So I've got two number 4s, so I'll mark this one with a 4A. Mark it with an A. I'm thinking about this potential idea, that empty space contains potential to form life, the substance of life, and of course, the potential to exhibit that which is good. However, does the manifestation of goodness, once manifest, have an effect on the originating potential? We see the numerical value of this potential is a conserved value. The differential equations governing its behavior are equations describing a conservative field. This means that if there is some potential, say psi, then psi would be neither created nor destroyed. Even though we live in an infinite universe, the infinite amount of psi is constant. I have said that the total amount of curvature, which is the engine to alter states of potential, is also curved, but suppose it is not. This is something which must be worked out. The idea I am following is that the quality of potential, this goodness, is not conserved, that it can increase ad infinitum as to its appearance in this world of being. The idea comes from the formation of matter from the curvature generated by changes in local coordinate systems. Let us say the material is organized in some way and undergoes changes and obtains information as a result of various experiences of the material. This information is conserved. In other words, it had to come from somewhere, but is there a higher level? Is there a non-conservative entity which comes from the arrangement of the information? The number of degrees of freedom may remain constant, but unfulfilled. For example, what about the levels of consciousness, like knowledge? If there is an entity under a conservative set of rules, it can undergo changes, but it must return to an original state and undergo the cycle again. Therefore, the process of spiritual manifestation and development cannot be conserved. All material within the galaxy will fall into a central black hole, and as it reaches the event horizon is unwound, and the curvature dissipates into the universe. The entropy reverses its flow, and material is ejected from the conserved curvature as hydrogen and helium. The information, degrees of freedom, is conserved, but what of the knowledge? Is empty space itself evolving, and we are part and within that evolution? What we are now is a material existence. What we become, what we decay into, is curvature from whence the material came in the first place. But does the resultant curvature have a higher or different quality than it had prior to becoming material? If so, this quality is of a spiritual nature and is not conserved. We go from pre-existent to existent and back to pre-existent. But does the pre-existent, which has undergone experience, call it post-existent, have identical and equivalent properties as the pre-existent? Just read that general relativity itself is not a conservative set of differential equations. For there to be a conservative scalar field, the value of the potential from one value to another is path independent. If the path from origin to destination has an effect on the value of the potential, then the scalar potential field is not conserved. The reason general relativity or gravity is not conserved is due to the production of gravity waves, as a result of the third-order time differential in the motion of mass, or triple dot, or m triple dot. Apparently, electromagnetic interactions are conserved because they're in a second-order differential. But gravity is fourth-ordered, and the presence of the third order or stress makes the gravitational potential and general relativity a non-conservative field. The path affects the outcome.